Welcome to our session, True Harvest to Table, Gardens, a Necessity in Kenya. This session is part of the 20-year Harambee celebration of Path from Poverty. I'm Joanne Laba, and I will be your moderator today. I serve on the board with Path from Poverty, and I attended a work team trip in 2018. We will take questions at the end of the session. You can enter your questions by clicking the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, or you can raise your hand and we'll let you ask your question. Today's program will begin with an interview of two Kenyan ladies who currently live in the US. They will tell us about gardens in Kenya. And as a special treat, I will be interviewing them in their Kenyan garden in Kent, Washington.
Hello and welcome to the gardening session. I'm Joanne Laba and I am with Path from Poverty. And today I have Pauline and Lucy, two women from Kenya, and they're going to talk about gardening in Kenya. Pauline and Lucy, you want to say hi?
Yes, hi, I'm Pauline Kamaja, originally from Kenya, but in Kent.
Great.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucy from Kenya, and we are here in Kent Garden, Washington.
And this is Geoffrey Kinyua from Kenya, and I'm here at Kent in this garden.
Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here. We're interested in learning more about why women in Kenya raise gardens.
Women in Kenya raise gardens because one, it's a source of income, and the other one is to feed their families with very nutritious food. The food that they have grown, and also they sell to the neighbors and all that. So, and they like doing it. It's also refreshing and way to exercise and to teach their children how to be responsible and all that, to be,
Okay.
Yes,
to work.
And to add to that one, it is also a lifestyle. This is how they have been brought up, and so this is the way they bring up their family. And because the gardening is the only source of food, and mostly also the source of income, because there are no jobs in the villages, in the farms, so that's what they depend on.
In one of our earlier conversations, you talked about how you use some of the vegetables for medicinal purposes. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, when most of the food that we grow, there are so many herbs, there are so many vegetables that are also medicinal. So it all depends with the families. Like when a child is coughing, sometimes they have something that they can get in the farm, because also, going to the hospitals and medicine, most of the time is very far, and also it's not affordable. So there are most of the herbs like stinging nettle and other herbs, rosemary and all other things. They use them as herbs to when small illnesses, not the major illnesses.
Okay, that sounds great. So you have a lot of home remedies with your vegetables and herbs in the garden.
Yes,
that's wonderful. Let's see. What kind of fruits and vegetables do people raise in Kenya?
They raise kale, corn, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, pumpkins, sweet potatoes. Also, they do a lot of varieties of beans.
Okay.
Yes. And they do rosemary, they do stinging nettle, they do blackjack. There's so many other things I wouldn't even know to mention in English, but I know them in my language.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've used stinging nettles here too for teas and that kind of thing.
Wonderful.
So
yes.
I understand in Kenya that there are 2 rainy seasons. Can you tell me about those rainy seasons and when they happen?
Yeah, there are two seasons. There's a short season and there's a long season. The short season, the long season starts around March and ends in May, and the other one starts in October, ends in December.
Okay. And do you grow different vegetables for during each growing season?
Yes,
Or-
the long rain season we grow corn and beans and potatoes, and the short season we grow things like vegetables, kale, cabbages, and tomatoes and peas.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Very
but that
different than we have here.
yes,
So you told me a little bit about when the long rains aren't so long, it can cause a problem.
yeah, it brings drought and it is a disaster because families don't get food and they don't get a source of income as well.
So it's important to have another source of water like tanks to
Yes,
help with watering the garden if the rains don't last.
absolutely. It's very important to have tanks because when there's no rain, and also to have a source of water when the rain doesn't rain and the tanks are dry. If they can have tanks, that will be very helpful because it will not cut the job, the source of income, and also the families will not go hungry.
Yes, and also even to add, to the water, these women, well, most of them, when they don't have tanks, they go long distances to fetch water, and especially in the Eastern Province, where most of the projects of Path from Poverty, they have to walk long distances, and most of these women, they have to use donkeys to carry water, and that means spending the whole day just fetching for water. And so tanks are very, very important because they can store water during the rainy season, and also if they can find people to supply water, they can still save water in the tanks. Tanks are very, very important, and they can use the same water to grow, kitchen gardens.
Right, right. Well,
Yes.
yeah. So we've got lots of purposes for the water tanks, not just cooking and drinking, but also to raise food.
Yes.
Very important. Okay. When I was in Kenya in 2018 with the work team, I noticed that the people lived in compounds with several homes in one compound. And do they do the, and it sounds like it's sort of a shared community. Do the same with their gardens?
Actually, mostly what happens is these families, even though they are extended because they are, from a generation from one family, then it grows bigger. And so every family, that is what in the culture in Kenya and most of African countries they do. The son gets a little land, they all divide depending on how much the land is. And so that is what they farm, each individual husband and wife and the children. But they still do as a community, they raise funds, they help one another. And if one doesn't have food, they help each other. When one doesn't have water, they assist each other in every way. So they live like a community, even though it's like a kind of one family.
Okay, that's great. So they can all help each other.
They can all help each other.
So you talk about the women growing food to sell and make some money. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. What happens is that if they have water on, especially when the rain rains and they have extra food to eat, and also they can spare some, they take them to the market. And in the market, it is not a commercial marketing, it's like a self-sustenance, whereby you sell food, you sell your vegetables, you sell your whatever you have grown, and then you buy food that you haven't grown in the farm. Like when there are no corns, you sell the food, you buy corn. When there are no beans, you buy beans. Well, salt and all these things. And mostly because these women in the village, they don't have gas and they don't have electricity, most of them, they use paraffin. So they also have to go to the market and sell these things and buy the paraffin. They have no other source of income, yes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So almost everybody who has a garden also does, they try to sell as much, they try to sell what they don't use so they can have
Yes. Yes, and mostly also they sell among themselves, you know, like I'm having kale, but I don't have spinach. So somebody will come to my garden and I'll sell the spinach and then the other person. So there is also that kind of exchange.
Okay. All right. That's great.
Yeah.
So I noticed also that there's lots of fruit trees and mangoes are very popular. Do a lot of people grow mangoes?
Yes, actually, I know where the path of poverty, in the Eastern Province, their main fruits are mangoes. In every farm, in every family, there are mangoes just growing. Most of them are planted, and some of them are like bush trees. And so, they are seasonal too, but they use them in the same season, and they try to sell them for income too. But it is just self-reliance. It's not commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing lots of mangoes for sale.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I noticed that you're in a garden now in Kent, and you've told me a little bit about it. It's a Kenyan garden. You want to tell us a little bit more about this garden? It looks beautiful.
Yeah, well, yes, we are very excited to be here, and we are so excited for the results because we get surprised every day. Once we grow something, it grows so well and it's amazing. It reminds us of where we came from and what we normally do back home. And almost everything is growing here naturally, organically. The only challenge we have again here is the water, because this place doesn't have water, like source of water. That's why you can see. So if we had water, this would be a super green garden. But besides, we are still thanking God for all He has done, and also the people that come here and appreciate the food we get from this garden: zucchinis, peas, pumpkins, and tomatoes, and potatoes, and so many other things that grow right here in America that we're familiar with. Yeah. So we identify with this land, with this garden, because we grow the food that we know.
And you said that you provide it to people who may need it, or to other Kenyans who are coming to America?
Yes. One thing we do, we also give this food to people that are not able to work, people that are not working, the ones that have been affected by COVID-19, and also the people that are sick, because this is they are familiar with that food, and because of their cultural belief that I will get better, I will recover if only I am eating this certain kind of food. So they don't believe in they're not very familiar with the American food. So this is really like gaining a lot of support and in the community, and a lot of people are wanting to do the same thing.
That's wonderful.
Like,
well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today, and for teaching us a little bit about gardens in Kenya. It's been really interesting. Thank you so much. We hope your garden continues to do well, and we'll talk soon.
Oh, thank you for having us. And we really appreciate the great work that you're doing in Kenya. We are so blessed. And surely that's why we are so grateful that we can partner with you and see this come as a success. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Keep it up.
All right.
thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
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 Next, we'll be looking at some slides of some actual Kenyan gardens. I took these photographs in 2018 when I was participating in the Path from Poverty work team. Pauline will be joining me to talk about the importance of these gardens, and we wanted to emphasize how important these gardens are to the women for their survival and subsistence, and the major role that the water tanks play as they provide water for these gardens to enable them to thrive. Pauline, can you tell us about the first slide?
Yes, so you can see the beauty in this area of Kenya, Ukambani area. The terraces, these are very, very important because as you know, when the heavy rain comes, it comes in a big way, and it takes all the topsoil and takes it to the riverbed or just down the stream. And so to stop this, we have to dig all these terraces so that when you plant your food, the water will remain, and even when it rains, it's not going to be carried away, and it can be retained for better growth. It's very beautiful.
Okay, on this next slide, we have some seedlings awaiting the rains. What kind of plants are these?
As you can see, you can see in the background, there are some corns that are, they had been planted, but it seems that like the rain started, but it did not continue. And so we have these traditional beans in Ukambani, that is the main dish. They grow and they thrive even when the rain did not continue. And they are very, very nice. They are used when they are green. They can be eaten as a vegetable with other food, like with rice or with corn, githeri, the Kenyan traditional food. But when also they dry, they come up very well to make the main dish of this part of Kenya, Ukambani area, mudhokoi. Once you visit this area, that's the first dish you get, mudhokoi from the traditional beans with corn.
Okay. And here's a field that's ready for planting, awaiting the long rains.
Yes, you see, it's really, really beautiful. As you can see, what happens is every person have to prepare their land for planting, and they have to plant before the rain comes, because if you don't, the rain will find you not ready, and you might miss your first harvest. Because what normally happens, sometimes the rain will come and then it will don't come again. So you take advantage of the first rain, so everybody gets ready before the rain comes.
When do these long rains typically happen in Kenya?
Yes, it happens in between March and June, and to tell you the truth, sometimes it's not reliable.
Oh, so it's important to be ready.
It's important to be ready, yes.
Here we have some seedlings in bags. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, as you can see, because water plays a very great role. What you do in your kitchen garden, you plant in bags, because this is safe. It keeps the organic manure safe, and then you can water the seedling. After this, you transfer them to the garden, and as you can see, this is not a commercial gardening. This is for the food that you share with the family, and also you sell to the families that doesn't have water. The water tank is a great thing. It helps the families to thrive.
So they sell the seedlings to the neighbors who weren't able to start seedlings?
Not really. They don't sell the seedling. They sell the vegetables when they grow.
Oh, they sell the vegetables. I see. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
But the seedlings are more likely to survive and do well if they're planted in the bags first.
Yes, and also you can control how much water you can give.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And here we have mangoes.
Yes, Joanne, as you can see, this is the most beautiful thing. It's seasonal, and so everybody enjoys these beautiful mangoes. They are the sweetest you have ever had. Or actually in Kenya, this is the sweetest place you can get the the sweetest mango because of the soil and also the seasons of the rain. And these mangoes, when it comes to the season, every farmer takes them to the market, they eat, and also take them to the market. And this is the season. If you didn't have anything for school fees for your children, or you didn't have anything, this is the time to sell and make up to all the losses that you ever had.
Okay. I remember having mangoes in Kenya. They were so good.
They are so sweet. You have no idea. I wish we can bring some, but we can't.
Okay, and here we are at the Kenyan Garden in Kent.
Yes, Joanne, you can see this is so beautiful. This is a garden. As you can see, the owner, Lucy, a young woman, she have brought Kenya to Kent. The way, in Kenya, the way we have known how to grow your own vegetables and go to the garden. And when you come in this country and you see a small area, or what you think is bringing Kenya to America, to where you are. And so this is what Lucy have done in Kent. And this beautiful garden, it grows vegetables, not just for personal use, but also for sale. There are people who come and get them, they sell them, they love it, they are organic. And also you can get every kind of a vegetable and a herb. And some of them, to tell you the truth, they are medicinal.
Well, that's great. So now we will be showing a short video that was actually taken in Kenya at the farm of Josephine Manyaka. She is one of the Path from Poverty tank recipients, and she will be showing us her garden and her plants, and then she'll be talking about them.
Thank you. We are ready for it.
Here we are in a Kenyan garden, and this is Josephine. And can you tell us what she's doing?
Yes, once she gets the spinach and the carrot green, she's able to sell them. She's packaging them for sale to make some money. And you can also see Josephine Garden has pie. We call them pie, but they are pawpaws. They are very nutritious, and also they make them some money. It's all about making some little money here, some little money there, that to make a living, because in this part, there is no employment. It is depending on the garden and what the garden brings. And you can also see everything is organic. This is manure that is a cow dung, and also mixed with other things that will make cabbage and other vegetables and herbs grow, that are very nutritious for the family, and also making some little coins. These are spinach. They are grown, they are water grown. You can see the area is so dry, but because of the water, they have been able to get even grow corn, and in the midst of the corn, they grow beans and other things that grow faster from the ground. So the children can be eating things before the corn grows. This water is so important in this part of Ukabani area in Kenya.
So in this area, in this garden, she's making the most of every space, every square inch of soil she's using to grow things.
Yes, and because of course you have to do it closer to the water tank, which is in the house, so it is around almost kitchen garden. Oh, wow, you can hear what Josephine is talking about. You can see how energetic she is, excited about the water, because with water she has planted even banana trees, and you can see the banana trees. She's saying it makes money. You can sell this one for $10, and if you have 1, 2, 3 of them, you sell them, you make money. That is really supports the family, supports friends, supports, and does a lot of work. It does an amazing job. That is how she's feeling, and that's how she's talking about. Water has done great job in this area. Having a tank is amazing.
It really makes a difference. Thank you, Josephine, for sharing your garden with us. Thank you for Pauline for joining us today. And thank you to the audience. We appreciate you being here to learn about gardens. Now we're going to have a question and answer session. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for attending the gardening session. If you have any questions, please click the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, or you can raise your hand and hit that button and we can call on you. You can ask it verbally. Okay, this one just came in. Pauline, what's your favorite dish to prepare that uses the vegetables that you grow?
Yeah, we call it ugali, and ugali with the kale and spinach is very, very good, and it is our main dish.
Is that your favorite dish?
Yes, it is my favorite dish, and it is easy to make. It's not like chapati you have to prepare.
Ooh.
You just put hot water and mix it, and there you are with ugali.
Okay, I'll have to get that recipe from you. It sounds good. Here's another question. What do you grow that is the most used in your garden?
It is spinach, kale, because it's our main food, and also we have maranatha and other herbs that they go with it.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, I see one more. Are some plants more drought resistant than others?
Yes, as you could see in the presentation, we have igneous beans, like traditional beans. They can stay longer. We have jahe that stay longer after the rain is gone, and also we have like aloe vera that stays a little longer, and it is helpful. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. As you've seen, gardens are a necessity in Kenya. In order for these gardens to thrive, they need water. And the rain catchment tanks are a great way to provide water to these Kenyan women. We hope you consider donating today. If you've already donated, thank you very much. If you'd like more information on this topic, or you'd like to share this session with others, just let us know in the Q&A window, and we'll get back to you soon.